with the opposite side. You have some storages here. You have a little waterfall over here, which can actually bring you down over here, which will actually bring you outside. So there's your one way of exit, pretty much. I really like it a lot. It's really cool. This actually was in the original, I think. Yeah, this was in the original, the helicarrier that I originally grabbed it from. But I sort of just made sure that it was a little bit better and it was a little bit more clean, and plus it wasn't as sticking out as much. The one that they ended up building was like sticking out like right over here kind of thing. Like it stuck out like a sore thumb kind of thing. So I ended up just changing it to this design and to like as close to the wall as possible without doing anything. Is that actually something? No, it's just light. Okay. So as you can see, here's like the little redstone. One thing that I will mention later on is that behind all of this like quartz and stuff like that is actually obsidian. So it is blast proof and you'll still keep most of the shape kind of thing. But yeah, so here it is. You flick on this lever, it converts this, which will turn off this torch, which will then turn off these, which will retract these inside, and you'll have water protruding outward. And of course, because of that fact, it will sort of just flood out kind of thing, and it'll go to the ground. Obviously, can't do that now because there is glass in the way, but there would obviously be some kind of attachment where it would like, or it would actually end up doing that. So, yeah. Where is the downstairs? Okay, there we go. So we're gonna go down one more. As you can see, yeah, so like this is dark oak, this is acacia, this is spruce, and this is birch. And then this one, I don't think I ended up making it a wood color. Yeah. So you could definitely tell that each and every wood color is different than the others. All right, so then whenever somebody comes here, so let's say you need to have a meeting with the rest of the server, they would come in through here. And it would come in through here. There is a meeting room over here, so you can have a little discussion. There's also another one over here, just in case there's two different discussions that need to be made at the same time on for different people. So let's say this one's for the PvP group, and then this one's for like the farming group kind of thing. Let's say that somebody just wants to use a meeting room, they can use that one while we're using this one kind of thing. I don't know. That kind of thing. Over here is the teleport to go up. Yeah, this area is a bit too short, or shorter than the other areas, because now we're starting to get to like the underbelly area kind of thing. And then over here is a map room, some more storage, and over here is, I think this one was supposed to be a map room too, but I think I changed it because it was just because it was mirrored. I think that one's just mostly just for extra storage. I think that's what I changed it to. And over here we have a pillar of water. And then now we have the bridge where we actually get to see outside kind of thing. And this is where we kind of stand in order for everybody to do this. And of course, like there's like this little the beacon where the AIs kind of go. Very cool. So as I said, there's only a few things like the whole lab thing as well. Like this side has like a tiny lab, as you saw. So this side has like the tiny lab. Where is it? It's not that one. This one has the tiny lab, whereas this one has the big lab. And then for the training room, like this one has a very simple training room that you can make. Mind you, this one I would change to have a bullseye kind of thing and make it so that you can't accidentally get shot by an arrow here. While this side has a like a super advanced like training room kind of area. And of course, there are some secret areas that are in here too that will only be accessible through command signs. So something that I wanted to do in here as well was that if this was going to go into 1.18, I was going to go and make it so that this area in particular would have like these secret rooms in particular that would allow you to go into like different little like nooks kind of thing to store stuff. So like, you know how in Rosaria base has those little like under areas, the under what I call the crawl space areas. I was going to do something similar to that in here, where I was going to have a crawl space under a crawl space under a crawl space kind of thing. But then again, this entire thing ended up getting scrapped. But I want to do something cool with it, though. still, so I'm still keeping it. It's just not going to be like as finished as I wanted it to be. So under, actually, I think it's not this area. I think it's over here. I think it's above here, isn't it? No, it's behind here. All right, so somewhere over here is going to be like a sign or something like that that'll lead you down over to here, which is sort of like the underbelly of the room, of the area kind of thing. And here's some more storage areas over here. Same idea with the other side. Here's where you would be teleported into, and here's where you would be able to teleport out kind of thing as well. So here's your storage rooms over here, even more. Never can fault me for that. I'll always have storage areas, and here's a little room I could do whatever with, or I want to. And then, oh, right, yeah. So this one, actually, you can actually come in here through these areas. That's what it's supposed to be. It's not secret. It's just supposed to be, you're supposed to enter it from here. And then over here again, same idea. Small little rooms you could do with whatever I really need to. And over here, we have cool little beacon rooms. Very cool. And we have an end portal that'll bring you to the end. This one's actually not even MC edited in. This is just creative mode plopping them down, like in a circle area kind of thing. So like doing like this, and then just filling them with Eyes of Ender, and then this appears, and it's like, wow, that's so cool. And I think that's pretty much it. I think, other than that, these actual areas are actually hidden storage areas. So tons and tons of storage. So this actually isn't water. This is actually, I think, light blue glass, but it just looks so clean as water if you're looking at it from like a distance. But if you look at it close, you can definitely tell that it's glass. But if you look at it from a distance, it looks really cool. And all of them are identical. So like if you go to this side, same idea. Boom, same interior. And obviously this side is identical to this side. I think that's it. I think there's nothing really too much else about this. But again, this area got way too, this thing got too big and too like overwhelming. Even though I made sure that like I spaced out the days kind of thing. Like I made sure that I didn't do all of this in one day. I didn't do this whole entire glass thing in one day. This took like at minimum, I think like a week. 2 weeks at most. And then I was going to bring this over, but then I found out that, like, I was going to bring this over to, I think it was 1.18 or 1.19, and then I found out that it doesn't really work, because Amulet, for some reason, Amulet doesn't like light blocks, because it doesn't calculate the light at some points. So I thought they might have fixed it recently. They didn't. So, yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm hoping that that's still going to come out with a fix at some point. But yeah, so I also ended up doing this. I thought it was a really cool design. It does look really nice. I love this ship. Like, this ship looks really cool. So as I said in the description of the previous video, which would be just showing off the beginning of the Astrias, if you look in the description, it'll have like the body as one of the descriptions kind of thing. It'll show like the body, and that is pretty much where I ended up getting the actual like full scale like if you want this exact like sort of build, that's exactly what I did. The only thing is that I ended up changing all of the exterior blocks to obsidian and made an extra layer pretty much of all of this stuff. So I kind of ended up at some point where I needed to start going down. I decided to incorporate these quartz pillars with these diorite onto the ends, and I think it looks really, really good. Like, I can't say that I don't like it, because I actually really do. It looks really good. And then over here, I ended up doing this little like stripe pattern where I ended up going with two nether, like I started with one nether brick, one stone brick, and then sooner or later I did two nether bricks, and then just kept doing it. And I think in the center it goes back to 1, then it goes back to 2, and then it goes back to 1 again. and I really liked it. And then I did this little arrowhead pattern. Actually, this was just an accident. This I didn't really do. This just ended up happening when I shrunk it down kind of thing. So pretty much how this ended up doing was that I grabbed one side of the helicarrier. I think it was the one with the tower. It was the side with the tower. I cut off the tower, copied that, moved it over here. I ended up moving this a little bit closer because it was a little bit too far around, and I didn't want it too long. And literally the only reason why it was that long was because this little thin sheet pretty much needs to be really long. So I decided, you know what? No, we're not doing that. So I ended up just shrinking it as much as I could. That made sense, and this is what came out of it. So yeah. And I think, yeah, so see though, like a lot of the designs look very, very nice. I definitely took a lot of inspirations from that Star Wars one. I definitely took a look at it. I think they used wool for the red blocks instead of concrete like I did here. I kept some of the blocks, like if this one had like yellow wool over here, I just changed it to, I think this one had white, black, and yellow wool. Change that to concrete just so it's more solid. And because if there's lightning that ever gets struck, if I don't choose to make this one barrier, because obviously I can remove the red glass and nothing would change. Like literally, the only thing that would change is that the glass is gone. So I have two little guns over here. I have two little cameras over here kind of thing, using the observers as like little cameras. So though over here you can see clearly, like you would have like a screen over here that would clearly show like the front area within those two like observers kind of thing. And I did this little cool design over here, which technically you can't see, which is very sad. But yeah. So I originally downloaded this helicarrier earlier. I think it was around like 2013 or something like that. Or something around like that. I think it was before Minecraft 1.8, I think. Like definitely before Minecraft 1.8. And I originally downloaded it, and I actually moved the cockpit area, the sort of the bridge area from there to over here kind of thing, because I thought it would make more sense. But when I tried to build this through my edited version, it didn't fit. I kept trying to make it work, but it just couldn't work. And I kept trying to ask myself, why isn't it working? So I ended up looking around on Planet Minecraft to find the original one that I got, and I found it. It was this one. And then I found out why it didn't work. So I ended up cutting off this, like a certain area down here, completely off, which ended up ruining the entire sort of area over here. So I ended up just grabbing it again. Also, there's like little chests here, which you can't really interact with. But what I thought of was that when I was doing Pixelmon, one of my old builds, or one of the last one that we're going to be using, I kept dropping off items in a chest and then flying right back away. So in my mind, what I was thinking of was that why don't I just make chests specifically over here where I could just fly over here, go inside the chest, store whatever I need to. So let's say I need to store in this chiseled stone brick, this pumpkin, this bookshelf, or whatever that I find in the random wild, and then go back on my flying Pokemon and just fly right out. Like as if like it's just like a short pit stop kind of thing. And so I ended up just incorporating that over there, which right now is kind of very much a silly idea, because now that it's been barriered, you can't really get in here. It's sealed. It's completely sealed. It's like vacuum sealed right here. You can't really get into it. You would have to end up breaking the barrier, which is impossible unless you have command blocks to remove it, which I don't really want to. So, yeah. So yeah, so that's pretty much the Astraeus. If you guys really like it, let me know, because I actually, again, I loved this thing. I thought I did very well with its like overall design and stuff. It looks really, really good. Like just by looking at it like this, like look at that. That looks beautiful right there. That's thumbnail material right there. And like I really liked it, but the only thing is that the interior was just too much for me. The interior and just making sure that like each and every design over here was like different in different ways, like making sure that like it's not left and right kind of thing. I did a way better job with the one that's gonna happen later on, but like this one was just too much for me. And over here, these little cauldrons are actually supposed to be more of a Minecraft mechanic, where in Minecraft, if it rains and you have a cauldron exposed, mind you, it doesn't really work with the barriers, but if you have a cauldron exposed, the cauldrons will slowly collect water over time. And that's what these are for. These would slowly collect water over time. I thought it would be just a really cool thing just to show that this thing is, you know, like eco-friendly kind of thing in some way where it will actually collect rainwater. So yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Definitely won't be showing off the Astralis again, but I really wanted to show it off. I spent a long time doing this. This was the whole reason why this entire series was postponed, like, so long, was because I wanted to get this done because I was really inspired to finish it, and then once I finished it, I'm like, it's too big. It's about, I think it's like 300 blocks long, and I was like, that's too big for what I wanted. The structure that's before this one is about 100 blocks long, and I think that one was too big, so 300 is even worse. So yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. I know I did. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time for some more Minecraft Pixelmon adventures.